They will know. They will know that you don't know how to count.
They know now.
How do you get 1 and 2 confused?
I was only
You did 2 twice.
I was reading something as I was counting down. So, John, you missed it. What happened was we do a countdown, right? We'll have our video chat open. We do a countdown to start playing the song, and I was counting it down, and so I went 5.
You had one job.
4, 3, 2, 1.
God, that was not confusing at all.
You confused me. I was like, what the
I
fuck
know.
just happened?
I confused myself because I was reading something at the exact same time that I was doing that, and I don't know why, but my brain couldn't like
Oh my God.
it
Tim,
just couldn't.
Trying to stream and play Soul Calibur online and run everything.
I'm not playing Soul Calibur online right now.
Not yet.
I don't have my controller in my hands.
Okay, all right.
It is right there.
Watching you.
Playing it with his penis.
It is right
You're
here.
not wearing your glasses.
And I won't be. So no one knows what I'm doing.
Oh.
So Tim, I think it's fair to say you've been playing Soul Calibur 6.
And a game called a neat little indie game called Forager that's published by Humble Bundle. It's kind of like a Terraria-like game. Logan and I played it last weekend, and it was a shitload of fun.
Nice.
And then I started a single-player Crusader Kings save because I really enjoyed playing Crusader Kings with you guys last week. So
Yeah.
I literally started as the exact same country, only this time I had a vague idea what I was doing, and
it helps a lot.
it's gone very well so far.
Question: is it on Iron Man?
No, I forgot to set it up on Iron Man, so I don't have any fucking achievements.
That sucks.
So
Start
I
over.
will say, you set it on Iron Man, and the game gets harder,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
I'm playing on hard, but I'm not playing on Iron Man, and I should be.
I assumed that the only
So-
difference was like no save scumming.
Nope. At least not
Okay.
in my experience. First, small rant.
Okay.
When you're choosing your country or whatever, you have the the 5 default you can choose from, and in the bottom right hand corner you can choose to turn on Iron Man. But if you go to choose somebody else in the left hand corner, and if you've already hit Iron Man, the Iron Man option being enabled doesn't then transfer to the world map. You have to do it again.
Oh.
I messed that up like 5 times trying to do an Iron
Oh
Man.
god, dude.
I was so mad. I was like, because I get into it, I'd be like 2 hours in,
Oh no.
and then I'd be like, "What the fuck?" I'd be like, "I can save. I shouldn't be able to save." You know, so I
Dude,
fucked it up.
That's
many
so
times.
tragic.
But actually, when I got an Iron Man save finally started, notice the game is harder. All of a sudden, Alba and some of those countries there
Freaking Alba.
they're like, "Hey, holy war, bitch!" And I was like, "Fuck, god damn it!" As they don't ever do that, and I've had a few starts
When
there,
we in that game that we were playing, I got Holy Ward like twice.
right, but they normally don't holy war me because I'm so small.
Oh,
Right there in Iceland, and then it's just like I take over one of those little islands,
that's it.
and then Alba's like, "Holy war, bitch!" And it's like you can convert, you can become Catholic, and I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
Dude,
Fuck you.
I had to do that in my save. Man, it went
oh,
awry.
are you talking about the one we were playing the other day?
No, my single player.
Oh man,
Yeah,
You had to
they
convert?
definitely ganged up on me. Yep. Is the only way.
Odin smites you, sir.
Ooh. Well, I was playing
Also-
Ireland, so I'm not worried about it.
I found out that my uncle named his daughter Odin today.
Interesting. That's cool.
ODYN.
That's an interesting decision.
I don't think that works.
Odin. Definitely more of a masculine name.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to turn that feminine.
But I'm judging.
I'm hardcore judging. This uncle is not very. His reputation in the family is definitely not high. So,
Sure.
but yeah, dude, he
He's about to get Holy Ward.
yeah, by all the Jesus dudes and fucking
By
Oh,
all of the
jeez.
Jesus dudes.
yeah, in prison. He's in prison. Once again, reputation's not.
Oh, how did? Never mind.
Yeah, we won't get into all that. So Justin, what have you been playing something other than Crusader Kings or no?
I've been dabbling in a few different things, but I would just want to point out that I've been playing the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster, remake, whatever you want to call that.
Is it worth it?
Despite my
It's
beanie
great.
and long hair, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're streaming Tony Hawk right now, bro. Honestly. It was really cool, though, because I haven't played in ages since the Underground games, and picking up the controller, I just easily started, like, busting out the moves, hitting those 6 scores, doing my stupid combos. It really just brought me back. Like, they really nailed the vibe of those Tony Hawk games, and it was really cool being able to just, like, it's like riding a bike, man. If you, like, me and some friends in Discord, like, there's some of us who played Tony Hawk growing up constantly, and so we picked it up and we just started playing just like we never stopped. But like one of our friends never played Tony Hawk, and oh man, he had such a rough time. The learning curve was pretty big for him.
Dude, so I was PC gamer guy before I was console gamer guy. So like I actually had I still have the disc for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. The like yellow disc that you could buy from, I honestly think I got it at Walmart time. And like do they still have the character creator? Or not the character, the map designer, I mean.
Yes, I didn't hear anything about it before I bought it. I didn't even think about it, and then I fired it up and it was there. Although I will say there are no spikes or lava.
Oh,
so
how do you have it without spikes?
I know. I was really excited, and then no death pits. So hopefully they'll add that.
How's the soundtrack? Is it the same music?
It's very good. They didn't manage to license all of the tracks, or they didn't license all of the tracks, but they have a lot of the tracks from those games in there, and they just kind of like fill it out with other songs that fit that theme. And they're like ranging from all different kind of times between then and now, but they feel right.
All kinds of pop punk.
I'm glad one remaster went well, because Kingdoms of Amalur, which was what I've been hyped about, has gotten terrible reviews.
Ooh.
They're just it's basically the same game with slightly better graphics. And I was just like, it's disappointing.
I don't know if,
but I mean,
most people are like, this is the same game, like it's fine, but it's the same game. Why did I buy it again?
I just right. It's just like, why would you buy it for the $60 price point? But the only reason I actually brought this up is because if you already own it in your Steam library, $17.
I was gonna say I didn't think it was $6. I thought it was a lot cheaper. That's why.
That's cool.
I just happened to see it. I saw that it was slashed because I wasn't gonna buy it yet because Crusader Kings and Wasteland 3, and I was like, I don't got time.
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait anyways, but then I was looking through the Steam page, and or the Steam front like store page kind of thing, and it was like $17 because you already own this, or it was like 17 or $18. I was just like, all right, I'll buy it. Like for that, it's whatever.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, they're doing a DLC for it, by the way. They're doing an expansion for it. For Amalur. Like a game that came out in 2013, the remaster is getting a brand new story expansion, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just weird. The thing that sucks is you have to have the new version of it to get the expansion.
Well, I mean, if you did the original version,
it's kind of like a weird Scholar of the First Sin situation.
Right.
How so?
Because with Scholar, there was like you can have Dark Souls 2, and if you have it, you can download Scholar of the First Sin edition or whatever. But also there's Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and if you have the old version with the Scholar stuff, it's not the same as the version built with the Scholar stuff. So basically, I have Dark Souls 2, I have Scholar, but I cannot play with my friends who have the version of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin that's like one thing.
Oh, so I have both versions.
Why?
You know,
because the Scholar of the First Sin edition was also a remaster, so it had updated shit in it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's why. So it's
not the fact that you have a problem.
own every Dark Souls
Didn't
release.
you just get a new Souls game?
No,
Weren't you just showing us the package?
Speaking of,
I don't have anime Dark Souls. What are you talking about?
Speaking of that, Tim, are you hoping that Bloodborne gets ported to PC?
Yes,
with the
absolutely. I've
news-
never played
with the news-
Bloodborne.
With the
Like,
news that
oh my god,
PlayStation is trying to put more or PlayStation games on PC because
They
they're
fucking
obviously
should.
losing that war like a lot.
At the
I don't
moment,
know, dude.
because
I don't know, dude. Horizon Zero Dawn did not get very good reviews out the gate for its PC port.
it has a lot to do with the performance of it, which is kind of weird because like there's not
Right, it was just very poorly optimized.
one thing that I don't get with optimization for these games in 2020, right? I would understand it more 10 years ago. But even though you get like a development kit, right, for PlayStation or Xbox, you still primarily are using a more than likely Windows machine to make all of these assets and run the engine on a computer, and you're designing everything. So I don't understand. Now, this could be just an ignorant, like I don't quite understand exactly how those engines work and all that. So like I'm not a game developer and I'm not going to pretend to be. They know better than I do, but it just seems odd to me that when you use a computer to make the game, that it doesn't run well when you move it over to computer. How are you not optimizing it well? Like that's again, I'm not a game developer, so this is probably just ignorant me talking, but it just seems
Weird,
ironic and weird.
Yeah, Tim, I think I kind of see what you're saying. Game devs, quit being so fucking stupid and get your shit together. This is easy.
It's 2020. Get your shit together. That's what Tim said.
Yeah, that's word for word what I said.
Throw that in the quote box.
Oh man!
Good thing the quote bot is not on this channel. It's only on my channel, which I haven't streamed to in over a month.
Hey,
that's all right.
Hey, that's depressing.
What's stream?
Oh man, yeah.
What's
What's streaming?
I don't know.
What is streaming? I don't even know anymore.
I'm not streaming video games, but I'm definitely not playing.
You're always playing. Every time you get a chance, you're playing.
I am not.
And you're gonna have more chances now, Tim.
Ooh.
Am I?
Right. 4 days, dude. 4 days.
Yeah, honestly.
xCloud's coming out. We were talking about the Razer Kishi this morning.
Yeah, we were.
Which, by the way, I haven't used it a whole lot, but I will say my biggest thing. So I don't have like the most gigantic hands in the world. So my biggest issue with it is the fact that if I'm playing a game like Madden, the bulkiness of the right side makes it hard to go from just the buttons to the thumbstick to like use the hit stick.
Ooh.
That was really like because you're like trying to hold right trigger and thumbstick at the same time. Once again, I don't have the like gigantic hands by any means. I'm stubby in basically every extremity. So come on, Justin.
You did that one to yourself, bud.
Moving right along.
I didn't know how better way to say it, so I said it. Oh shit. So anyways, but yeah, that was kind of my only real problem with it, because just trying to hold right trigger and hit the right thumbstick at the same time.
It's that bulky. That's crazy. That's like
it is pretty.
There is an alternative that Razer actually makes called the Jungle Cat. It's $99. It's a Bluetooth controller that doesn't have. So if you're not familiar with the Razer Kishi,
I'm not.
You're about to get a quick breakdown. So a Razer Kishi is kind of like a Switch controller. Basically, it stretches out, and you put your phone inside of it, and it has a backing that you put it inside. What?
Tim, what is the name again?
Kishi.
What does that mean?
I don't fucking know. It's Razer. I don't fucking know.
Razer.
That's all I wanted to know.
Weird. It could be like Taichi or something too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
No idea.
Something weirder.
I haven't heard it pronounced any other way, but maybe we're all just dumbass Americans. I don't fucking know.
Right.
And so basically, it's like almost a phone case that opens up that you put your phone inside of, and then you connect it via a direct USB-C input if you have an Android device, or if you have a iPhone. There's an iPhone version as well, and There you go. You got your controller hooked up.
No micro USB.
I don't believe so. I think there's just USB-C and yeah, I think so. You have to have a
good
newer phone. And then they have an alternative called the Razer Jungle Cat, which is more essentially just it comes with a phone case for your phone that'll the two slides, the two side controller will actually slide on the sides, but other than that it's basically a Switch controller. It's like a what are
the Joy-Cons?
The Joy-Cons, yeah, that go on the side. Like it's literally that. It connects via Bluetooth.
The width is just way larger than a fucking.
They're thicker.
Yeah, it's
for the Jungle Cat.
Oh no, the Kishi.
The Kishi is. The Jungle Cat's not, and the Jungle Cat doesn't have that backing that the that the Kishi or Kaichi or whatever does. So you can use it because the Jungle Cat's Bluetooth. You can use it with like your Steam Link, your computer. You can use it with anything that'll accept a Bluetooth controller that's not proprietary.
Those are Joy-Cons.
It's literally just Joy-Cons. I kind of want that. Like I'm looking at getting that type of controller for my phone because right now I have my Bluetooth Xbox controller that I got that I'm mostly using with my Steam Link. I use it with my phone too, but if I just had like that and it was just a handheld, if my phone was a Switch for my Steam Link and my xCloud.
Yes.
Yeah. That's basically what it is.
That's awesome.
That's kind of why I want the Jungle Cat.
So, but the Jungle Cat is $25 more expensive.
Than the older version of the Kishi. So the newer Kishi, the one that has the Xbox, like the new Xbox controllers will have that new share button or whatever on there. The Kishi, whatever the fuck it's called, the new one is $99. The older model that doesn't have those is $75. But it has buttons that other than the new share button, it has a home button that has the exact same functionality as your Xbox home button and all that. So
yeah, I think I got the one without the home button.
Yeah, I think you got the older version, and that's $75, which is a really good deal. No, it's not bad.
I mean, it does the function, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I kind of just want the Bluetooth. I don't know why. I want the wireless. I don't have a Switch. I just like the Joy-Con.
Joy-Cons,
idea.
I will say, like being able to have a Joy-Con in each hand. That's how I played Breath of the Wild, and it was awesome. I was just like lounging on the couch with my Joy-Cons, or like petting my cat and still playing the game. Like it was dope.
The thing I've always enjoyed about Joy-Cons is that I can sit. Like when it first came out, I'd play Legend of Zelda, like Breath of the Wild. I'd sit on my couch. I'd have like one arm over the arm of my couch, and then like the other one now next to my side, and I was super comfortable.
Yeah,
like I'm just chilling, dude, and I'm like dead to the world, you know. And that's something I've always really enjoyed about Joy-Cons compared to like a traditional controller.
When I think about when I'm playing games and my kids are trying to climb on my lap, and I'm trying to hold my Xbox controller. If I had Joy-Cons, it's not an issue. Just like move my arms apart.
Yeah,
it's a neat idea.
Looks super cool.
So
yeah, I feel like with xCloud, the Switch is finally getting competition.
Which it's funny to me. Honestly. The with xCloud, like what is Xbox not trying to compete with and kind of winning against right now?
Yeah, dude, it's all pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean,
Google never heard of it.
Right, like Stadia, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Even after I decided to start paying for the unlimited like data every month or whatever, which is like $130 a month. Yeah, it's not great, but anyways, but we use my wife and we use almost 2 terabytes. In between Game Pass and like everything, we watch everything streaming. We don't watch anything.
Yeah.
Like I just started watching YouTube TV because the football season started and whatnot. And I mean, we rack up data like crazy. Anyways, but Game Pass, man, like they just keep adding to it, right? So, like Tim was just saying, who aren't they trying to compete with? Well, shit, they're trying their best to compete with absolutely everybody because they just added EA. and their Origin or Premiere or whatever the hell it used to be called, they just added it to Game Pass for no extra cost.
Yeah, dude.
Which is just wild because I don't know if we were slamming Madden 21 yet on stream. Have we slammed Madden 20?
I'm sure we have, but
I think you guys have talked about
0.4 user score on Metacritic. You know what I mean? Like
the lowest user score in history of Metacritic.
Well, tied. It's tied.
It's not anymore. It went down to 0.2.
Oh,
it was tied.
Is it really?
It was down at 0.2.
What was it tied with?
It was tied with
E.T.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, it is 0.2.
I can't even remember what it was tied with it, but like honestly, the thing it was tied with, they were both at 0.4, and not only is Madden getting review bombed, but the game it was tied with, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the fuck it was, actually has gone up since. So people went and reverse view or like a review bombed that one just to make sure that Madden is the lowest rating ever.
Very strong feelings.
Yeah. Well, so I'm on Metacritic right now. 61 positive, 24 mixed, 4,919 negative.
Oof.
And I'll be honest, so Madden 21 is actually having a free to play weekend right now. So I tried it. I was like, let me try this shit show for free. And it's garbage. Like it's literally the same game. Like the aesthetic is a little bit different. They've gone away from like a great, like everything has like this blue tint to it now, which I thought was weird. Even like Tim is familiar with this, the kick meter, you know how it used to be like, as it comes up, it's green and then red. Mm-hmm. Now that's blue. So you can't even see the white line as it goes up. It kind of blends in, which is dumb.
Are you telling me I'm gonna steal an Angry Joe joke here? Are you telling me that we paid $60 for blue?
Yes.
For blue? $60.
Yeah. I tried out the yard.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I tried out the yard. Wasn't impressed. Like I like the idea. I don't mind having an arcadey option in Madden, especially if it would get rid of MUT. Like God, I hate MUT. But anyways, but that thing, it was not impressive at all. So yeah, it's just it's like the 0.2 score, honestly, I played it for like, I don't know, an hour and a half. Is totally deserved because I was playing Madden 20 earlier today and I was like, there's no real difference other than I can actually run the ball with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
So do you think if people had access to that game on Game Pass, they would have hit it as hard?
I don't think so. Honestly, because it's free.
It's hard.
Like so it's free, but they're still selling it for $60. So I think most of the games, like, it's different if you played it for free, right? But not everyone has Game Pass. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a PlayStation, you don't have Game Pass. Did this one even come out on PC? Because I know Madden 19 came out on PC. I think 20 did.
It's got reviews on PC.
Yeah, so it came out on PC as well. So like, if on PC, maybe you would if you could have it. I don't know. I don't know the percentage of PC gamers that have Game Pass. You're kind of missing out on a lot of shit if you don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on you. Like I'd recommend you get it if you don't have it. But
first try.
It's like, dude, I think. Do I think it would have gotten slammed as hard? Maybe not, but I honestly think that
I'm not saying it would have gotten right. I'm not saying it would have gotten slammed as is because it is a bad product, right? That they're touting as a brand new video game, right? I'm just saying people would be more willing to wait it out because a lot of these sports games, right? They normally come out glitchy as shit because they get their 1-year development cycle. And then like 3 months down the road, the major bugs are fixed and it's more enjoyable and stuff like that. There's still minor things here and there, as Tim has videos of, just weird shit fucking happening or whatever. And look at the glare.
I was like, that was legitimately that I recorded that video. So there's a video that I took, and this was Madden 18, and I've seen it happen in subsequent games. It still is happening. I just saw a clip of it still happening in Madden 21, where like the ball. I almost just want to pull it up and show you the ball.
We can post it on the socials. We can do
fucking bounced like off of I think it was off of somebody's head, and then it was just bouncing off of players, off of somebody's ass, and just bouncing around in and out of people's hands, and then it magically gets intercepted. After legitimately touching, I think, like 10 people. Like, just ridiculous shit. That's like...
Yikes.
It's bad. But here's my other thing. If these games started to come out on Game Pass, I think a lot more things would be forgiven.
You got it, John.
What would John say?
John said, what I'm hearing,
edits, that's exactly
that's become sports games in general.
Right.
There's not a lot of innovation in the space.
Yeah. Well, it's not even. There's not a lot of try. There's no. It's not even like innovation. It's just like, hey, we're gonna pump this out and we're gonna get money from it because people keep buying it, even though it's not improved.
Cody was telling me about the free-to-play weekend and asked me if I was gonna download it, and I was like, no. He's like, but it's free, and I was like, no. So here's my take on that. And then this goes for when and if it's on Game Pass too. Maybe eventually I try it on Game Pass. But here's the thing. Here's this garbage. Would you like this garbage? No, it's garbage. But it's free. Yeah, but it's still fucking garbage. Like, I don't want it. All right? Like, I'm not putting that shit on my hard drive.
Yeah,
I don't know. Look, I wanted to try out the shit show. I don't know what you want from me. But I think Game Pass would free some of these developers up, so to do more of maybe even a 2-year development cycle, right? Because they can just continue to push out updates and stuff on Game Pass. Because for Microsoft to get these games on Game Pass, they have to be paying these companies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if they're paying these companies, it can help supplant some of the money that they're trying to get from the consumer. And then it can help out the game development more. I also not a game developer, totally ignorant, don't know how this shit works. Just a thought. But something else that EA could do is get 2 fucking studios like they do with Call of Duty to give them an actual development cycle. Like there's literally a template out there on how to do this kind of right. You know, it's still hit or miss, but like we said, there's no give a shit. There's no real trying. It's, hey, we're going to add slot machines. We're going to add fucking Pokemon card packs. We're going to add all this stuff to continue to get money from you. And we're going to jack it up to $70 here soon. It's just like, so that's kind of like the bad. There's a lot of bad there that makes me not want to play it.
So they're being sued in California because Ultimate Team's card packs do literally meet the definition of gambling in California.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a thought on that because when you read it, you know what else literally falls under the definition of gambling in California? And I don't think it will, but could find itself swept up in this rug of random chance and buying card packs to improve your deck, and both Magic and Pokemon, like physical card games. Trading card games, like they took the idea from trading card games, obviously.
Well, right, they did, but I don't think it's. I think the stats on that kind of stuff is like produced or whatever.
Oh, in Madden, it is. It's fixed. But like, what I'm saying is, if you read definition of gambling, California law.
By the way,
I don't even have the doc open right now.
No, I have it open. I have it open. And we've been weaving in and out of it pretty good.
What exactly is the legislation that's going on? Is it specifically just against Madden?
No, it's against EA.
Okay.
And
because then they call them like surprise mechanics or some shit.
That was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
They're not loot boxes. They're surprise mechanics.
Right.
Oh, man.
We don't call them loot boxes. We refer to them as surprise mechanics.
Right. Didn't it all
the fuck you say?
It was like all revolving around exposing children to gambling and like not telling people the odds as well.
Right. And FIFA, I think, was the one that was mainly under fire at the time. But
yeah,
I mean, 2K 2K, FIFA, Madden, they're all. I don't know if NHL series has something similar.
I'm sure it does by now.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't bought an NHL game since like I don't know 16 or 17. They're fun to play, but I'm just not a huge hockey fan in general. So, but yeah, but kind of back to the original point. Game Pass is gaining EA Play, at the basic tier membership. So, and Justin, you did more research on this, but what I'm reading on the show notes here is that that would normally cost $5 a month or $30 a year. But the best EA games are still part of the Play Pro tier, which is $15 a month and $100 a year. Which I'm assuming. I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you can kind of get a taste of these EA titles, and you're like, oh, this Battlefront game is cool. I wish I could play Battlefront 2. Maybe I'll try it.
I do have a thought before we completely move away from sports titles, though.
So,
because Cody, you were saying there is a model out there that already works that people don't talk about enough. It's like this is the one type of game where a live service model, and EA is fallen in love with live service models, so I don't understand why they haven't done this. It actually makes sense, because if we're getting the exact same game running on the exact same engine with slight refreshes, why the fuck don't you just do that as a live service? You run MUT as a season that starts over every year. Sure, you can blow it up and start over. People are okay with restarts every year. They've proven that by the fact that they keep playing MUT, right? So like that would make sense there, because you don't have to release a whole new game to fucking do it. You don't have to print new discs to sell it, which saves you not a ton of money, but some. You sell like the new roster as a fucking expansion. Otherwise, you're stuck on the old one, right? So, like, there's not a, you lose some money, sure, but you look like less of a dick bag.
Yeah, for real.
And then we understand why you're not putting in major effort into this game, because essentially you're making it a live service that we have to rebuy every year. So why not just actually rip that fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Mirage off, like just tear away the curtain. Okay, let us see the man behind the curtain, and just fucking let it be the live service game that it pretty much is.
Right. I totally agree with you. All sports games should go that way. Every 5 years they come out with a new one.
It's shocking,
and
it just makes so much sense.
Right. And it gives them time to develop stuff, because we as sports players, like, the base game isn't going to change a whole lot. Like, we understand people who play sports video games. Basketball is basketball.
Football is now 4 teams.
Right. Like, it's just we understand it is what it is, but I would rather do that, honestly. What you're saying, I would rather pay, I don't know, let's say $30 for the roster
franchise mode every year.
Right. And then if they let's say they do a season pass, so any new game modes they come out with, so something like the yard or updates, or like new updates to franchise or something like that, I don't know, you get it in the pass, right? And maybe if you buy the pass, which is $60, you can get the roster updates for the next year free. You know what I mean? Like, there's a much better way of going about this than the way they are right now. And because I do believe that the games have gotten to the point that they need actual development cycles to add real improvements, and to stop just ripping out features and reintroducing them later as something new, as Tim yells about all the time.
Right. And a subscription service, if their game's tied to a subscription service, that could act as like a safety blanket for that development team. Because whoever's going to say, here, have some money, whatever you do, we're going to put it on our thing. Here's some money in the meantime, and we'll see what happens.
Well, and you see a lot of these games on Game Pass doing that. So, like, Outer Worlds, right? I bought Outer Worlds because I played it while I was employed. But I just bought the DLC on Windows Store the other day, right? So I mean, I didn't pay for Outer Worlds the second time, and I didn't necessarily have to pay for it originally. I just didn't have access to Game Pass where I was at. But if I had just had Outer Worlds on Game Pass, and then I was like, hey, I want to play the DLC, so then there's $15. That's just totally outside of Microsoft at that point. Well, I don't think, that's Obsidian, so that goes to Microsoft in some way, shape, or form, because Microsoft owns them. But you get what I'm saying. Like, the Obsidian's making that money separate from Microsoft, basically.
Yep.
And that's the same thing. That's the same thing they have to do. Crusader Kings has a Royal expansion or whatever, which is basically a battle pass for any DLC that comes out. I mean, there's ways
of
to
DLC that's going to be there. It's probably actually worth it.
Yeah.
Well, and they also release an ass ton of DLC for those games.
That's what I'm saying. Like in this case, most of the time, a Royal Edition, where you're going to get all of the DLC in the future, and it's like 2 expansions that probably would have cost you less than buying the expansion, the like expanded version of the game. Like for example, if you bought the whatever the Ultimate Edition for Shadow of Mordor was, and then you got 3 DLCs.
Yeah.
Probably not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But with
Crusader Kings,
the Crusader Kings,
they're gonna release like 15 DLCs within the next 2 years.
Yeah,
there's legitimate. Oh, dude, that's low. Crusader Kings 2. If you look at the amount of DLC they've released, it adds up to something like $400 or $500 worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane, and it's all like $5.99 a piece. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really gives you the way to like customize your experience. So like me, they didn't have in the initial Crusader Kings, they didn't have, from what I understand, they didn't have like the rating mechanics and stuff. They added it as like a Viking DLC, and I was like, yes, please.
Bingo.
And then that's what I did. I did the same thing I'm doing now in Crusader Kings 3, but it's just still so much fun. But I mean, back to like the Game Pass conversation. This is just more about Microsoft making things affordable. And speaking of like affordable things, Microsoft finally officially revealed their prices for their new consoles.
Whoa.
And bros, I'm excited. As much as I'm still getting this goddamn 380, there is so much excitement for me here because the affordability across the board is great.
Dude.
Oh, by the way, $299.
That's a crazy.
$299.
That's insane, dude. Oh my goodness.
That was how much. I swear to God. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember that was how much like a PlayStation 2 cost.
Could be. It's
when
amazing.
It released.
I'm really tempted, and not to like totally divert away from these price points, but I want to see what the discless version of the PS5 is going to be.
Yeah.
Because from what people are saying is that the discless PS5 and the PS5 with the disc or disc tray, whatever fuck, optical drive, is that they're the same system, exactly the same, except one is this digital and one isn't. I don't know how true that is. This is what people are saying.
That's my understanding. Is like the machine itself. Also, Ben says PS2 was $199. He remembers it vividly. Thank you, Ben.
Right.
Also, hi Nemo.
$215 after tax. I love the specifics.
So, like, I just totally sidetracked myself. Oh, so the hardware in the PS5 and the PS5 discless version, or the dickless version, as Ian would call it if he was here.
Oh my God, you're right.
The hardware is the exact same. It's just the optical drive, and Sony's basically confirmed that. So Xbox has their higher tier machine with the drive and their lower powered machine that's cheaper and more affordable.
Man.
And then Sony just ripped out an optical drive and was like, here's the cheaper version, which is rumored to be, depending on where you read, either $50 or $100 cheaper.
Right.
And $100 for an optical drive seems like a lot. So,
especially because optical drives are like $20.
Yeah, I lean towards the 50. So
high definition Blu-ray drives. I mean,
yeah.
And supposedly PS5 is dropping their price, or because of Xbox. Now, whether they're dropping it to match what Xbox is at, which is my theory, or dropping it to undercut Xbox, to be determined.
I don't think they have the capital to undercut Xbox. I think their disc version and Xbox's disc version are going to be the same price point at $499.
So then the discless version of PS5 will be $400 or $450, which makes the Series S more appealing to me.
Right. And honestly, I know. So here's my thing. And I actually talked to some guys because I know I won't call them fanboys, but I know there's some guys I play fantasy football with that are very they love PlayStation, right? Sure.
They're fanboys. You can say it. It's fine.
I want to say they're fanboys just because they also own Xboxes and stuff. They just prefer PlayStation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They have PCs and the whole nine. And we were just kind of talking about it, and I was just like, I don't expect them to do this, but I could see PlayStation coming out at 550 for their main, because even though it's less powerful, IGN was just running a poll the other day of like, what system are you going to buy, and it was like 75% PS5. They have so much goodwill built up. I think people would be willing to eat the extra $50 just to buy it. Once again, I don't expect them to do something like that. But do I think they could get away with it? Oh yeah, I think they could if they really wanted to. Because I don't know how much, like the normally when they sell these consoles, it's always at a loss to start with, right?
Mhm.
But what's considered a loss for Sony and Microsoft are two different things, because you're talking about $1 trillion company and $1 billion company. So what the hits they're able to take are going to be different. So yeah, it'll be interesting, but $299, $300 for right, like you're basically getting the equivalent of a 2070 is what it is. In the graphics card, they both run the same GDDR6, which is just to give specifics, it's 10 gigabytes of GDDR6.
It's hard to say.
Nailed
Yeah, and then just so you know what the difference is, because I don't know if you guys have looked at this, but the 380 is running a GDDR6X, which I don't really understand the difference between those two.
6X is faster, but it's not like it's not like the jump from what most RAM in most people's computers DDR5 is to 6. From 6 to 6X is not that big a leap. It's a slight speed leap, but it's not that big.
Well, right, and the 3080 is closer to the Xbox Series X, not the S. So that's kind of like your comparison.
The Series X and the PS5 are both rumored. The RDNA cards that are in there, RDNA 2 cards that are in there, are rumored to be slightly faster. I think it was 15% faster than a 2080 Ti.
They're going to get blown out of the water by the 3. I'm not talking about clock speeds. I'm just talking about the 3.
I'm just talking about teraflops and clock speeds. Supposedly, you're supposed to, it might not have been the Ti, it might have just been the 2080, but still,
right?
They're supposed to be like, which, regardless,
30 teraflops.
Can you imagine 2080 in a fucking Xbox One?
Right. Like that's basically what it is. That's the
dope.
performance you're looking
awesome.
At. The price point, and this is more where I was trying to get at. The price point that you're getting in at $300, you get ray tracing and a bunch of. I don't even have ray tracing on my computer. Okay, I spent $800 on the graphics card alone. Like the price, it's $300, and while the storage space isn't like great,
and you buy a $70 external drive.
Well, even you can even get more expensive. I have an 8 terabyte external drive for my Xbox right now. It was $165. You're still coming out ahead compared to what I paid for my graphics card 2 years ago. And what I'm getting ready to pay for this new graphics card, which is $700.
I kind of want to sidetrack us real quick, but I'll let Justin go first.
I was just gonna say, on the topic of the size of the hard drive, I was looking into Seagate. They've officially been brought in as partnering for some basically big ass memory cards for the Series X. And one of the things that they mentioned on their website was that you might not have a good time if you're using just a traditional external hard drive to try to play your Xbox Series X games on.
No, you want a solid state.
Yeah, we'll see.
You don't want anything that spins, because the architecture for both of these consoles is based on games loading faster off a solid state.
Yeah.
Right.
My bad.
And the rumored price point is not great. The 1 terabyte expansion for that SSD that looks like an old school memory card.
Yeah,
the
dude.
The rumored price that I saw from Windows Central the other day was $220.
Yikes.
Which I think is where you start getting into the loss of it starts becoming a loss for the consumer at that point. I don't see a lot of people spending $300 and then spending $220 on a terabyte expansion, because that then exceeds the price of the Series X.
Right. Oof.
You know what I mean? You're starting to exceed. So I don't think it'll be that much. I think you're looking at probably $140 kind of thing, somewhere in that range, because they have to make you want it for the Series S. Because that's the market, that's the people that are going to buy it, that's really going to buy the expansion. Like, obviously people with Series X, if I get it, well, I'm getting a Series X, but and we'll get into that in a second, but I want 2 terabytes, right? But I mean, 512 for the Series S. I've been calling them the boombox in the tower, because that's what they look like. The Series S looks like a goddamn boombox. Like, I just want to hold it up and act like I'm playing music. Anyways,
that does look like the exhaust.
Like a speaker.
Definitely looks like a speaker.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a speaker. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how they could. Microsoft has made so many good moves. If they did that, I just feel like it'd be a slip up.
Yeah.
For everything else that they've done, I don't think it's in line with everything that they've done. And maybe they'll release like different tiers. Maybe it'll be related on like read-write speed kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is going to confuse people.
Right.
A lot of people don't look into that kind of stuff. But I just can't see the price being $220. That's too much.
Did you guys see there's an image of they slot into the back of the Series X?
It's literally a memory card.
Yeah, dude. I love. It's really nostalgic to me. I'm picturing these big old memory sticks, and people are just writing what games they have installed on them.
Right.
Can you imagine explaining to a kid memory cards? Like, in order to save our game, we had to take this little plastic red clear thing and plug it into the front of our PlayStation. And if we put the wrong one in, then our save wasn't there, and we had to restart the console to swap them out. Otherwise, we could. Or I was talking to Cody about that yesterday. I was like, can you imagine explaining to somebody who's grown up with video games that's much younger than us, blowing out a cartridge?
I know.
Oh yeah.
There was dust in it.
Yeah. Isn't it funny
that.
how the mediums keep switching between a solid cartridge, a solid non-moving thing, to discs, and back to the non-moving again?
Yeah, it's funny.
Bizarre.
I don't know. It's all funny. I just brought us up on. I brought us up on my phone, and my volume was very loud.
Unprofessional.
So, very loud. Apologies. No. But just talking about being in line with like the affordability that Microsoft is making this. So when the 380 was announced, I was very much like, I'm getting this 380. I'm going to skip the Xbox because I don't have what was at the time just rumored $500 and $700 to spend within the same time frame, right? Microsoft fixed that. They basically came out with something called All Access, Xbox All Access, or something like that. And you can basically lease an Xbox Series X, $34 a month, $35 a month. Comes with 2 years of Game Pass. And if you do this, you will pay less for the console than you would just buying it outright. Not by a lot. It's like $40, right?
Then you also get Game Pass for 2 years.
Right, but you get Game Pass for 2 years included in that. So
that saves you what? Let's say it's your Game Pass.
You're 15. You're 15. Yeah, you're 50. Like all three of us are already Game
opening
Pass.
The calculator. 15 times 24. That's gonna save you an extra $360 there, bud.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Well, they're probably trying to entice people. So the one thing I did say,
I just look over at my Xbox 360 when I think about that. I'm just like,
So, all right. So just real quick to give the prices. So it's $35 a month for the Series X, $25 a month for the Series S. You will own the consoles at the end of this time frame. You get Game Pass for 2 years, and it's very affordable, right? For basically anybody. Like a lot of people could. A kid can do chores around the house for $35 a month. You know what I mean? Like I used to work for my mom for $30 a day when she owned a restaurant. You know, like I was getting paid $6 an hour or some shit. So, it's very affordable, but I did see some people questioning because it is very similar to a cell phone plan. Is there going to be an insurance cost on top of this in case something happens to the Xbox while you have it under lease?
That's a good point.
Kind of thing. And that is something that I haven't seen anything about, which could take away from how good of a deal this is.
It's still a good deal. Even if you're paying $50 a month, it's still a good deal.
I mean, I don't think it is at that point because you're paying more than you would.
Never mind.
Outright. There's not a lot of wiggle room here if they're going to add something like that because like I said, you're only really saving. It's a difference of $816 if you do the lease compared to $860, I believe, if you just buy the console outright and you have Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So it's like $50 of wiggle room, not even 44, something like that.
Yeah.
So it automatically, like you said, if you add you're looking at $2 in insurance costs a month. It's almost evening out, so you might as well just buy it outright. So it's something that I'm curious about going forward. To see, or if this is already built in. Maybe this is already built into the price that they've already released.
Yeah.
In which case, it's a perfect fucking deal. If you're not going to get in trouble, as long as you don't like Office Space, the goddamn system, you know what I mean? You don't got to pay all that money. Then fuck. Like, I also saw rumors that if you do the lease thing and they release a mid-generation upgrade, you can upgrade and just renew your lease.
I bet that's true.
Actually pretty big.
It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like what you do with your phone.
Right. Like they basically, the once again, the affordability of all this it just blows my mind. $35 a month. That's less than I'm going to pay for my fucking couch.
I also would like to point out the fact that you're paying essentially a cell phone plan for a console that's much more powerful than a phone.
Yep.
How much is the newest iPhone? If you were to buy it outright,
$1,100 or some shit.
Does it have something equivalent to a 2080 Ti in it? No. Oh, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Yeah, it just makes too much sense. Let me look up newest iPhone. Nope.
While you're looking that up, I kind of want to diverge the topic a little bit. We're not really a hardware show. We talk on we talk about graphics cards a little bit here and there. But as much as I am excited by a lot of the things Nvidia has announced are coming out with the 30 series cards, which are going to be to your average person probably of limited use, like the machinima stuff that they are coming out with. I don't think a lot of people are going to download it, monkey around with it for a minute, and then they'll be like, all right, I'm done. The streamer stuff, there's a lot of people that'll use it. There's a lot of people that won't. And basically most of what you can do, you can already do in OBS if you just know how to mess around with your settings a little bit. So it's got value, but the counter punch is coming from AMD, and supposedly, this is rumored because they haven't announced shit, but there are leaks out there. We know the 6000 series of RX because they have to make it confusing. Cards are coming. And that is this time they're not targeting the mid to low end like they have been with like the RX 590, the RX 5700. Those were mid-range cards. The RX 6900 is supposed to have parity in terms of features and potentially performance with the 3080 for $100 less, supposedly. The leaked price that is most commonly mentioned is $599. $599 for the same thing. So, not saying that people should wait and miss out on, and this is all leaks, this is all rumors, none of that's confirmed. Like if you want a 30 series card, you're not going to make a mistake buying a 3080 or a 3070. Like you're fine. I am waiting, and if you're on the fence at all, I would encourage you to wait just to see what AMD says, because worst case scenario, like right now, I've got an RX 590 in there. I can play everything I need to play. I can't play everything on Ultra, but everything works. My card's okay for now. I'm going to upgrade at some point in the next year. I'm just waiting to see if I'm going to be Team Green or Team Red when that happens. And if I can get the same for $100 cheaper, well, then I'm probably going to be Team Red. But if not, then yeah, I'm going to get a 3080 or a 3070 at least, because they're kick ass too.
And I think I've said this before. I pay the extra $100 for the convenience of not being an early adopter of AMD products.
Yeah,
because they do not have a great track record of that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I will gladly pay that extra $100.
So they don't have a great track record on first generation releases with early adopter stuff. But if you look at, say, you take Ryzen as the example.
Right.
Now, this is the exception, not the rule. When you go back with the history of AMD stuff, you're absolutely right, especially the graphics drivers are a nightmare a lot of the time. But if you take Ryzen as the example, Zen 1 was pretty rough at first. It got really good over time, but it was pretty rough in terms of like stability at first.
Right.
Zen Plus, which is what I have a Zen Plus CPU, Ryzen 2600, got better. Zen 2, the 3000 series, which released last year, I don't remember. That was pretty stable right off the gate. Like there weren't a lot of issues with Zen 2. Zen 3 is coming. The 4000 series CPUs are coming in October as well. So AMD will be announcing their graphics card stuff officially, I believe, on the 28th. That's confirmed. They're having a press conference for Radeon stuff on the 28th.
Okay.
September 28th.
And on October 28th. October 28th. So I think they're trying to avoid that nightmare that you're talking about with the drivers. I think
they're trying to distance themselves as far away as possible from NVIDIA's release. Because,
maybe, but it doesn't really matter.
Because the 3080 comes out 6 days. 3070 is mid-October. So if they they're right behind both of those, then they announce their stuff kind of thing. They're kind of out of like the first wave of NVIDIA fucking just clearing house, and they're not directly competing with those fanboys, I guess you could say, which I'm not an NVIDIA fanboy. I absolutely loved everything they said about the 3080.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Still before holiday season though.
Yeah, before the holiday season.
Right. It's before. So, but see, that's too late for me. I need my
system need to upgrade now. Upgrade now.
No, I don't need to, except for the fact that I want to play Cyberpunk on the absolute best machine I can possibly afford.
You sound like me when I was talking about the RAM, and you were making fun of me for it last week when I was going to upgrade to faster RAM, and you were mocking me. I was going to buy $230 RAM that's on sale at Micro Center for $105.
But I
32 gigs.
I found things that were faster.
3200 speed.
I found things that were faster.
Yeah, but they weren't. So you found faster RAM, but I was looking for capacity.
Faster RAM at 16 gigs. You don't need more than 16 gigs.
16. I was looking at 32. So I found
if you're going to start video editing on the reg, then yeah, get your 32. But if you're just playing video games, your 16 is fine.
I want to get back to video editing on the reg like I used to. I have a YouTube channel that has hundreds of videos on it, and I want to upload more. There's a reason I want time. I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, my point was, so October 8th is going to be the announcement of the 4000 series CPUs. October 28th will be the next gen of Radeon cards, the RX
RDNA 2.
6000 series, RDNA 2, Big Navi, Navi 2X, whatever you want to call it. That's coming. So I'm waiting to see what it looks like, but it's hard to not be like, dude, a 3070s as fast as 2080, and it's
2080 Ti.
No. Is it? Yeah. Either fucking way.
Still crazy.
Holy fuck. Crazy
is
value. 50%. I don't think there's been a graphics card release in the past. Now, caveat: we know what the specs are. We know what they say we're gonna get.
Right. I mean, there still has to be.
Reviews are gonna be but if they come out as good as everything's rumored to be, this is gonna be like the biggest leap in a single generation of graphics in terms of power.
Yeah,
which is the only reason why I'm doing it, honestly, because a 1080 Ti is perfectly powerful enough to run anything I want. Basically, like I would throw shit at it ultra fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't really run any issues, especially now that I have a G-Sync monitor. Like I don't run any shit. But the power difference is absolutely insane at the price point. And I'm just like, that's what I was waiting for. That's exactly what I was waiting for. I was like, I need a reason. Give me a reason and I'll do it. And then NVIDIA did that. And I was just like, cool. This is fucking simple, you know?
Yeah. It's funny looking at, like Intel and AMD with the processors. Obviously, AMD is just tearing it up and Intel is kind of slugging along. But NVIDIA was like, nah, we're here to compete. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Which is exactly what everyone wants and should want. And should.
It's good for everybody.
My system's all AMD. I am not opposed to putting an Intel chip in there, and I am not opposed to, well, obviously I need a new motherboard, but I'm not opposed to putting an NVIDIA graphics card in there either. Like my laptop's an NVIDIA card with an Intel processor. Like I don't fucking care. I just want it to work as best as possible. And the way that we're going to get that is AMD doing what they're doing and causing disruption in the market and making NVIDIA go, oh, maybe we can't release the 3080 for $1,200 like we did with the 2080 Ti. Okay, we'll price it competitively and give people value. That's all I want.
That's perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Their top end CPUs are called Threadripper. You're 100% right. They are ripping it up. They're tearing it up.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, the Threadripper CPUs are just crazy.
We were talking about how much an iPhone costs compared to an Xbox.
Yeah.
iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max will start at $999 and $1,099.
It's literally double. It's literally double, bro. Like, fuck.
God,
that's what some people like.
Especially like,
oh my god.
All right, so I this is the same thing I've been saying about Beats for years. Beats, Apple, Abercrombie and Fitch, which I don't even think Abercrombie and Fitch is a fucking thing anymore. It's just the brand. That's all you're paying for at this point. You're not paying for features or any. You're paying because you're saying I have an Apple. I have an Apple iPhone. That's it. That's it. There's no advantage. Zero. It's stupid. Steve Jobs, why did you have to leave us? God. Because iPhones were fucking shit back then.
Same with earpods. You can get like earpods are cool. Sure. You can get
Toes. They're $50.
I was gonna say you can get a $50 pair of wireless earbuds that are better.
I've been using them for like 2 years, and I use them when I work out, and they're fine. They're totally fine. I sweat like crazy in the bitches, and
give Ray J some money and buy some fucking Raycons. It's fine. Supposedly, Raycons are actually really good too, even though they're owned by the whole company is owned by Ray J, which is weird, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
money can't last forever.
If you guys are looking for a really good entry point for like completely wireless headphones that you use this like
I actually
podcast, $50 Tozo. They're Tozo. I will look. I'm gonna look it up right now. I got it on Amazon last year.
Skull Candy inked wireless headphones are actually pretty good, and they actually
I haven't used those. I just the reason why I tout these things so much is because I brought them with me. Oh, they're not even $50 anymore. There you go, $30.
Bingo.
Same exact thing I have. I brought these things with me when I was deployed. I can't copy it to you right now because otherwise I will jack up all of our faces. But I will do that at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Remind me. Yeah, dude, they're fucking cheap as shit now. I actually got it with one of the wireless pads, and so I can just toss a little charging case on it. But like one charge on them or whatever, not the entire charge on the case, but like one charge once you take them out is about 3 hours.
Nice.
Which is all I really need, kind of thing, because I just use them while I work out. So it's about an hour and a half. Put them bitches back in there and good to go.
Beautiful.
So,
man.
But yeah.
Audio.
Oh yeah.
What a beautiful thing audio is.
It is. It is a beautiful thing. Do you want to say it? I can. You're already kind of headed there, so you can say it if you want.
I feel like audio is going to be, one of those battlegrounds for the next gen consoles. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Tim, did you hear about this? at all.
Tim is clueless.
He's like,
I'm
no.
Dolby Atmos. I do have the dock open now.
Yeah. Yeah, so PlayStation.
He's like, I finally got it.
PlayStation's been going on about how they're going to have all this advanced audio technology and they're developing.
Got a speaker in the controller.
Yeah, that worked out great for
That's what you
PS4,
want.
man. But yeah, so basically, Xbox just announced a partnership with Dolby, making sure they're going to bring Dolby Atmos to Xbox Series X hardware. They're going to make sure that's a thing. And also Dolby Vision, which appears to be some kind of super HDR 12-bit color depth gobbledygook that sounds nice for people who have nice monitors or TVs, I'm sure. But yeah, what do you think about that? Do you guys ever do you utilize 3D audio in the games you play? Does it matter?
I use Windows virtualization for audio for games because it actually does make a difference. It's actually, I had downloaded a trial of Atmos on my computer because they have the software or whatever, and I tried it out, and honestly, the Windows built-in software worked a little nicer for me. And I thought that was weird. I was like, I can't be right on that. So I checked some reviews, and like I don't know if you guys watch a lot of like tech tuber stuff, but I watch quite a bit of like Linus Tech Tips and a couple others. He actually did a comparison for a lot of those like softwares, and he found the exact same thing, that the Windows one worked a little bit better. I was like, oh, so it's not just me. It doesn't surprise me though that Dolby Atmos will be built into the Series X, because like you can do that on an Xbox One. You have to pay for it, but you can download the app, and then you have to pay to enable it long term. But yeah,
interesting.
it's pretty cool.
I'm more excited for the HDR, because when I turn it on my my OLED, right, and I have the HDR on my OLED, I love the color difference between normal Xbox and HDR. Like I mostly see it when I play Madden, because Madden has a lot of like really bright colors. But even when I played The Witcher, when I would hook my computer up to my TV and play The Witcher on that thing, it's a significant difference. So I'm kind of curious, like how the Dolby Vision, because it's just going to be like a setting, right? How that's going to adjust your TV past what it can already do. If it can't, then it's just a gimmick, right? You know what I mean? Like you just need to figure out what your TV does. And even
either
HDR,
way, I think it's just a gimmick.
Well, it might be. I don't know.
It's not a bad gimmick, but I think it's just a gimmick.
Yeah, it'll be something nice for people who have the technology to support that, the hardware to support that.
Right. Well, I think so there's, you guys understand that there's like different levels of 4K, right? You got your 422, your what the fuck? It's 3 different levels. But true 4K is 444 chroma, basically, right? And there's 2 other levels to that they're 4K, but they're not pure 4K. Like there's a little bit, you're kind of skirting the edges a little bit there.
Most PC monitors that say they're 4K are like 3880 by whatever. So it's like that's 4K, but it's 3.8K.
Right. Like it's not pure 4K. It's like it's close.
Yeah.
And so there's these 3 different levels, and so but you're able to market it. It's within 4K levels. So you're able to market it as a 4K monitor or TV or whatever, right? HDR has something similar. So when I was looking for a new monitor, one of the things I wanted was HDR. I ended up giving that up for G-Sync and other things or whatever at the price point I got it, kind of thing. But there's different levels of HDR, right? And it's I forget what the term is. I want to say nits, but I don't feel like that's right. But there's basically a certain like whatever 1,000 or whatever 100 that it there's a base level HDR, right? And then it goes up to like what is pure HDR is very similar in that way. So I'm curious if for these TVs that aren't a pure HDR, right, but they're kind of a lower tier HDR, if this Dolby Vision built into the system, the Xbox, is going to somehow enhance that. Right.
Sure, like a super virtualization kind of a thing.
Right. And you know, like the Series S can upscale to 4K and stuff like that. I wonder if it's like this kind of similar upscale type technology. I'm totally spitballing right now, by the way. I have no idea. I could just be totally talking on my ass. I have no idea. But that's just kind of what I think about when I think about this Dolby Vision stuff. as long as you have an HDR enabled TV, how much can it improve what the TV can already do by itself?
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting. I'm not super interested in the audio because I just use I have a sound bar, so it's kind of whatever.
I'm usually wearing these.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so the Skull Candy Player ones that I have that they don't make anymore because they fucking hate me and I need a new pair. They
don't like to upgrade your hardware.
So they were kind of ahead of their time in the fact that they had an optical cable that goes into the back. Like they were released with PS3 and Xbox 360, but you can use an optical cable for them. So like they work with my Xbox One just fine, and they work with my computer just fine via USB. So if I wanted to right now, say I wanted to play an Xbox game with you guys, or like while I'm talking to you guys, right? And I wanted to split it, I can actually hear both just by there's a knob on the side here. Right now I've got it completely on my PC, but if I wanted to split it, you guys would be a little quieter, but I'd also hear whatever Xbox game I was playing.
Oh, nice.
So like fucking I really like this headset, and I have other headsets that I like my HyperCloud X's, but those I'm usually if I was using them with my Series X, I'm assuming that the Series X will have the same thing that the Xbox One had with the 3.5 millimeter jack going into the controller. So that's probably how I'm going to experience it. Like I'll use my headset, which is why the Dolby Atmos for the Xbox One was pretty cool that it was built in, because you could use that for headphones. You can use that for a headset. So you could just turn that on, and now you've got virtual surround with your Xbox One.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
Interesting.
my thought on it.
Interesting. We'll see.
I would like to have a switcher.
Dude, yeah. I have one on these too. Cody, you're the only one who's really missing out now.
I'm the only one who's also hardwired.
Ooh, yeah. Oh man. What are you doing?
Oh, for your headset?
Yeah.
I mean, I
really enjoy the Hyper. Well, this is the HyperX Alphas. I had the Cloud 2s for 5 years before they started to go out on me. And I brought those on deployment with me twice and shit or whatever. Like they really like withstood all the shit I was putting through for a while. So that's why I just bought the Alphas. And because these are cheap as fuck. They're sub $100. You know what I mean? They're normally like $80 and they're fantastic. So I just
they make a wireless pair of
but it's over $100.
Is
That's
it
the thing? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Last time
Mr. Value down there.
Yeah.
I got these for like $50 from Half Price Books.
Oh wow!
And then they stopped. Then they were completely out of stock everywhere after my kid. Like when I found them, and when they first broke, I could have ordered a replacement pair for like $70, $80. I was like, they'll go down. Then I found out, no, they don't make them anymore. And they stopped. It got less and less. And then for a minute there, I could only find them online on eBay for like $300. Now I can't find them anymore.
Yikes. You hate to see it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find the price on these. Yeah, $139.99 for the HyperX wireless, the cloud flights.
Yeah,
and there's 3 different ones, and one of these doesn't even work. So I can, here's the other thing is like I can unplug this from here. I can just plug in an Xbox controller, and I can immediately start playing on my Xbox or my PlayStation, and I just plug it back in here, and it works.
Yeah.
This like the compatibility is PSE. Wow, a PSE. I don't know what the fuck that is. PC and PS4, and then there's a different one that's a different brand. Well, it's the same brand but like different headset that's only Xbox One, and then there's another one that's also PC and PS4 or
Weird.
PS4. So like it's just I'd rather just unplug this than fucking. As much as I do wish I had some wireless because I got that Xbox turret. Bluetooth.
Xbox
he said turret.
Oh,
he said turret, but it sounded like turd. We both heard turd.
My bad.
Yeah.
He has a Razer turret. For those who are not, now we're talking about Razer again for like the third time this stream. For those who are not familiar with Razer turret, it is a
very heavy keyboard.
It's a keyboard and mouse that are natively supported by your Xbox One for gaming. There are no other natively supported Xbox keyboards and mice right now. Like some of them will work, like some Logitech keyboards and mice will work, but they're not just plug and play. Like they're not built for it.
Right.
Whereas the Razer Turret is.
Right, and that was a future-proof
Future-proof
purchase because it's $200. You know,
and it'll work with your PC too if you ever
right.
need it.
I can. Like if let's say this keyboard died on me, I could just be like, all right, whatever, and fucking just come over here and do whatever. But just with how much, and this is before Game Pass even got as integrated as it is now. This is like 6 months ago that I bought this shit. You could just see it. But I'd love to like hook my computer back up to my TV and sit on my couch with the turret and fucking play and talk to y'all on fucking. That doesn't fix my headset problem because I want to talk to you through Discord on my computer.
Yeah,
but I'm playing on my TV.
Wireless headphones.
I don't have wireless headphones. That's my point.
That's my point.
Well said.
Man. It would be nice for that, but that's the one inconvenience out of the whole thing about not having a wireless headset right now. So just live with it because these are pretty fucking good headphones for like $80.
Dude, if my wireless, if the mic wasn't busted on these, like I was talking to you guys about earlier, I could totally just be doing this for my Steam Link. Like my camera, because I have a software called Virtual here, I would just plug the camera into the Steam Link and it would, through my Ethernet cable, send the signal down here.
Be good times.
MacGyver.
But alrighty, boys. Hour and 20 minutes. Got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, dude. I wish Rainbow Six Siege's audio wasn't so fucked up all the time, and that the 3D audio worked better.
Dolby Atmos.
I'm gonna give it a whirl. I haven't tried it.
It's not bad. Do you use the Windows built-in?
I have. So with my Arctis headset, they have their own virtual surround, and I've just been using that.
Try before you buy, because Dolby Atmos isn't like free.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get a free trial and then you have to pay.
Right.
So what I would say before you even try that, just turn on Windows Sonic for headphones.
Windows
Spatial
Sonic?
Sound. Yeah, so like if you
Gotcha.
right click on your volume thing, go to Spatial Sound, you should get an option Windows Sonic for headphones. Try that out before anything else because that works really well.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
We'll see.
Did a rage moment happen?
Cody, do you have a closing thought?
I mean, I do, but I just asked Justin a question.
Did a rage moment
happen?
Wait,
no, it's just anytime I'm
You're
playing.
not muted.
On a
I can't hear you.
staircase and there's someone moving
Why
around,
did
it's
my
impossible
volume
to
die?
tell if they're upstairs or downstairs.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't play competitive at all because that's too much stress. I'm doing all that shit.
Dude,
My volume cut out in his back.
understandable.
Can
You're
you
back
hear me
to
now?
I can hear you now.
Welcome back.
Good.
I don't know what happened.
We'll never know.
It like just stopped working. I could see you guys still talking. I was like, Cody, you're muted.
No,
And then I saw Justin talking, and I was like, you're not muted. What
Yeah,
happened?
we heard you because we could still hear you, but
Yeah.
you couldn't hear me apparently.
Well, he said his closing thought, and you guys heard it. So great thought, Cody. Good job.
Closing thought. Hey, look, be excited for everything that Microsoft is doing because just like AMD is going to force Sony to do some more creative shit to stay competitive. Like they're going to be competitive anyways because of their exclusives, and that is something that like they're going to put their hat on every time for forever.
That'll
it's gonna
only get you
force-
so far.
Well, as we can see, Sony is already trying to push more into the PC space, which is a step in the right direction for us. Because if they start putting those exclusives on PC,
port on Steam.
but if they start putting those exclusives on PC, it just opens up more for everybody. It's good stuff. So
Give it to me.
just in my opinion, support Microsoft in their endeavors currently right now. I'm not saying you got to buy an Xbox, but get Game Pass. If you got a PC,
buy an
or you got
Xbox.
if you got a PC, or you got an Xbox, just get Game Pass. It's a fucking $1 to sign up. And if you go on Slick Deals right now, there's 2 different deals where you can get 3 months for 2 months price of Game Pass. There's deals going on all the time. You just got to be looking. So You got anything, Tim, other than your volume cutting out?
Bye. And no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm not playing Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah, I see something with like.
Yeah, you see, like you reflecting. I'm looking at you. This is why I wasn't wearing glasses earlier.
Oh my god!
Stupid.
Holy shit!
My closing thought is competition is absolutely fantastic for gaming. We live in unprecedented times for many reasons, but one of them is parity across systems. Like when the consoles launch, like a high-end PC is still going to be your top dog in terms of price to or in terms of performance, right? But in terms of price to performance, as a console gamer, as a budget PC gamer, any of that, you've never lived in better times. So just it can only get, with Microsoft doing what they're doing, with AMD doing what it's doing, the perspective is there for that to get even better. So keep your eye out for deals constantly, because they're going to be out there, man. Like let's say the 6900 XT launches and it is on par with the 3080, and so it's cheaper, right? So that might be your better price or performance thing. But then we don't know, but we think NVIDIA has left a large gap between the 3090 and the 3080 in terms of price. One that is very conveniently, there's a space for a 3080 Ti or Super or whatever they're going to call it right there. So all of a sudden, AMD comes out with a card that's like as good or better, forces NVIDIA to price drop that. But then also, hey, here's another card that doesn't perform to a 3090 level, but other than that, it's the best consumer card on the market. Like, this is exciting shit to me. So that's my closing thought.
Absolutely.
This is exciting shit.
I mean, that was a very roundabout way of saying that.
Bitches.
Thank you for joining us for another night of OLEP, and have a good night.
Bye.